stand up strong. All my girls, so if you're with me, it's right on with me. There ain't nothing like it. The black girl magic, black girl magic, black girl magic.
What's going on, tribe? My name is Nicole.
And my name is Kia, and we are the co-owners of Glamourina.
Yep, Glamourina is an inclusive women's lifestyle brand specializing in culturally inspired activewear, intentionally designed to complement all complexions and body types. Our mission is to provide a safe space in health and wellness where everybody belongs.
Yes. And welcome to Behind Glamourina, Moms on a Mission podcast, where we discuss how we balance being successful Black women entrepreneurs, working 9-to-5 jobs, motherhood, self-care, and everything in between.
Yes, we do. And so just like we do every episode since we've launched this podcast, we want to do a mental health check-in. We're in April. It's, we're putting a dent into the year. So how are you feeling, Kia? How are you feeling this week?
You know what? I'm feeling pretty good. I just got back from spring break. All of the mothers out there, you guys have kids, you probably just had spring break or you're on spring break. So that's kind of been nice because I'm also a teacher. So, I get a few days off of work. We didn't get a whole week. But I'm feeling good. It's the weather is warming up and that's always nice.
Yeah.
It just makes you feel better. I can take my kids outside in my classroom. So I feel like when the sun is shining and it's warm out, you just feel better. Like you're in a happier mood. Yeah.
Of course.
And then, yeah.
Of
so
course.
I'm feeling pretty good. What about you? What's going on with you?
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I feel like, the sun is just a natural form of energy, right?
Yes.
So I'm happy about the summertime. People in California, Florida may see the sunlight or, more than we do. But I'm happy that we don't have as many gray skies. I'm feeling good. I have a lot going on in life, but I'm still feeling like I can handle it. So I think that's the best part about it. It's feeling like you can handle the things coming your way. So I'm good this week.
That's true. True.
I hope you guys are doing a mental health check-in too as you listen to the podcast. Check in on yourself, check in on your friends. It's always good to just kind of check in on your mental health overall.
All right. So in today's episode of Behind Glamourina, Moms on a Mission, we want to talk about Black women and our heart health. Just the other day, I heard on the radio that boxing legend Flyod Mayweather lost his personal assistant and friend. I believe her name was Kitchie Laurico. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, and I really do apologize, but I think she went by Kitchie. So unfortunately, it turns out that she passed away suddenly at the age of 49. And with the reports that I was hearing, it was saying that she possibly died of a heart attack. And it just made me thinking, I reached out to Nicole and I was like, I feel like we really should have a little discussion about Black women and our heart health because it's like one of the number one killers, I believe, in the Black community, especially for women. So with just the passing, obviously, our condolences to her family and friends. And I think, we just really wanted to use this opportunity, to kind of talk about our heart, because with this news, it's always when someone passes away, it really makes you start thinking about your own personal life.
Yes, it definitely does. And I saw that all across social media. I can't remember what day it was, but it was definitely recent.
Yeah.
And I started seeing people post about her. I was not familiar with her, but obviously I was curious who this person was because of all of the attention.
Right.
And yeah, I'm sure it was a shock to family, friends of Flyod Mayweather because she was so close and just had been working with him for so long. So I think this is definitely a wake up call, her death as far as Black women and really paying attention to our health overall, but specifically heart health.
Right.
And making sure that we get the check-ins that we need, just to check in on our heart health and see how, we're doing, what we can do to stay healthy. So today we want to dive into some statistics about our heart health and explore how Black women can just get smarter about heart health overall.
Right. Absolutely. So, we were kind of reading a lot of different articles and doing some research for our topic today. And we found a couple of these articles that we wanted to kind of dive into. The first one is called Heart Disease and Stroke in Black Women. And this is an article from a website, goredforwomen.org. So I'm going to start this off with just some unsettling statistics, just to kind of give us, a wake-up call in terms of what's going on in the Black community and our cardiovascular health. Cardiovascular diseases kill more than 50,000 Black women annually. Stroke is a leading cause of death among Black women. Among Black women ages 20 and older, nearly 59% have cardiovascular disease. Among Black women ages 20 and older, nearly 59%. Only 39% of Black women are aware that chest pain can be a sign of a heart attack. Only 33% recognize that pain spreading to the shoulder, neck, and arms is another potential heart attack sign. And just one more statistic. Among Black women ages 20 years and older, nearly 58% have high blood pressure, and only around 20% of those women have their blood pressure under control. Okay. So the article goes on to just talk about, why does heart disease affect Black women, at higher rates than any other race? And it says that research have found that there may be a gene that makes the Black population much more sensitive to the effects of salt, which in turn increases the risk for developing high blood pressure. So in people who have this gene, as little as 1 extra gram, which is half a teaspoon of salt, could raise your blood pressure as much as 5 milliliters of mercury. So it's just saying that there may be this gene that, Black people have, African Americans have, that we're just sensitive to salt. And so because of, too much salt, leads to high blood pressure, and high blood pressure could possibly lead to stroke or heart attack.
Yeah. And then, I chuckled a little bit when you said the gene about, the salt, just because we overeat food, you know what I mean? So it's just like, everything has to be seasoned. And sometimes we think that needs to be salt, you know what I mean? You can season food without salt. And, there's just other ways, lemon juice, different things to season your food to give it taste, to avoid the excessive salt. So just thought that, is very insightful to let people know that, who knows, you may have that gene, you may have that, that's affecting your heart health. So definitely pay attention to your salt intake. But another thing that's out as you were reading this is 20, when you were reading the statistics, 20 and older. Okay. Made me think about the fact that I've had, chest pains a lot. Right. And we had this on another episode where doctors don't listen to us. Right. And so it brought back memories of my doctor saying, "Oh, you're only you're in your early 30s. You have nothing to worry about. It's probably anxiety." So it's just like, based on the statistic, though, it may not be. Maybe we need to take. So definitely get a second opinion, or just do everything that you need to do to make sure you're feeling okay if you feel like something's wrong.
Definitely. Absolutely. I agree. When I start thinking about this, quite honestly, I've had a lot of chest pains and stuff as well. And I really have been to the emergency room a couple of times because of the pain. And I've talked to my regular doctor. I wore a monitor for, I think it was like 30 days that kind of like monitored my heartbeat, my heart rhythm, what have you. And honestly, like every time that any test results came back, it was like, everything is fine. And I liked our discussion the last time about doctors not listening to us, because I was having chest pains. All the articles and research that we've done, it says when you have these feelings, go to the doctor immediately, go to the emergency room. So I just want to reiterate, I won't go too deep into it, but go anyway. Yes, it has turned out that, nothing was going on with me. But at the same time, if I'm having this feeling and I'm worried about it, I'm going to go, the emergency room doctor was pretty much like, I don't know why you're here. Everything's fine. And it made me feel really bad. Like, was that a mistake? Should I had waited it out and see, maybe that was indigestion or, heartburn, it could have been. But at the same time, I just encourage every person, because like you said, this lady, Mayweather's assistant, she what I saw online was someone had released, I guess, some text messages, and she was telling her friend, like, I haven't been feeling well. And that friend was just like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry to hear that. She was like, I've never really felt like this before. And they were just like, take vitamin C, which is what we tell our friends, like, take your vitamins, whatever. But I just think it's just so important to, man, if you're feeling something and something feels off, go to the doctor. Go to the doctor.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, knowledge is power too. So the more we find out about things, if you're Black and there's this thing out here for, where salt is affecting us at higher rates, like, let's just take precaution and just try to reduce our salt intake, or any knowledge that you find in our community. If people are saying, okay, we should stay away from this, we should try to do this, change your diet. Just, I would take heed to it, or at least try to, incorporate changes into your diet, because we know from a lot of research, your diet, it affects a lot of health issues, like Dr. Sebi. That could be a whole nother topic, but I love his research and his studies and stuff, because I do believe in, eating from the earth can help. So I agree on, taking care of yourself and knowing when something is wrong. I don't know if going to the hospital that day could have saved her or not, but knowing, okay, this is not right.
Yeah.
Got to do something about it. And it's just unfortunate.
Yeah, because like the article that we read, it says, a lot of women were just unaware that we might have, heart disease. So there's a second article that we found on Abbott.com, and it's called 7 Ways Black Women Can Get Heart Smart. And it provides 7 proactive lifestyle steps that experts suggest Black women can take to be smart about their hearts all year round. So we want to dive into that just a little bit, just to kind of give, our audience some tools, maybe some tips to think about, some things to consider. One thing from the previous article, I do want to say, they do have at the end of the article a solution. And it says, for starters, lower the amount of salt and sodium you eat, which is exactly what you said. Lower your salt intake. In fact, make a serious effort to improve your eating habits by learning about healthy eating and healthy cooking skills. And of course, if you're not already active, get moving. So that's the number one suggestion on this Abbott article. Number one, keep it moving. It says, just real quick, of all the ways to reduce your heart disease risk factors, aerobic exercise that gives your heart and lungs a workout is one of the best. You don't need a pricey gym membership, blah, blah, blah. It says jump roping, doing jumping jacks, even climbing stairs in your house, anything to get your heartbeat pumping is very, very, it's like one of the best ways to, increase your heart health.
Yeah. And start small. Like some people, depending on where they are, in their health journey, may not be able to go up and down the stairs for an extended period of time. Maybe you just start with walking, take baby steps to progress your health. So it doesn't have to be high impact or anything like that. And it may not be a brisk walk. Maybe it's a slow walk first, but then over time you'll be able to pick up the pace. Maybe you'll eventually get to running, but just make sure you incorporate it gradually. If you do have existing health issues, so you don't overwork yourself starting out, you can still do a gradual transition by just moving, gradually. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. And there are so many low packed exercises that you can do that will still increase your heart rate. So especially for any, people, honestly, I was going to say water aerobics for older adults, but honestly, anyone at any age can do water aerobics. So if you are having any issues with your knees and stuff like that, there are low impact exercises out there that you guys can do to this increase your heart rate, but not be, so physically taxing on your body. All right. A second suggestion, to get smart about your heart, it says eat for your heart. You want to think about, obviously healthy foods. You want to kind of eliminate rich desserts, crunchy fried snacks, all you can eat buffets. And you really want to increase your omega-3 fats like tuna and salmon. Potassium-rich foods like oranges, bananas, and tomatoes help your heart beat properly and can lower your blood pressure. So obviously, everyone can just Google, heart healthy foods and really try to center your diet around those things. I mean, I feel like it's sometimes out of convenience. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of people may argue, and I don't know the numbers, but that, eating healthier is more expensive, or it's more time consuming. While those things can be true, maybe not. I don't know if you add up all the costs, if you're eating out a lot, once, that adds up to just buying, fresh foods, fresh fruits and vegetables and things like that at the store, cooking your dinners and your meals at home, not frying as much, baking. I feel like we've heard all of these suggestions before. So it's like a matter of just really doing it, guys. Just really do try to eat as healthy as possible.
Yeah, it's all about making conscious decisions because like you said, the information is out there. We're not just, these articles aren't, it's not new information. It's existing information that has been out there for a while, but it's about making conscious decisions and taking your health seriously. You should work out. You should move your body. And especially for the older women out there, like, my mom, for example, not to put her on the spot, but it's just like sometimes even when you retire, you got to get active. Sometimes when you retire, you might just feel like, oh, I'm done. I just want to lounge around, but you got to actually stay active. So, these things, you should eat well and, bake over fried and, less salt and things like that. But it's about making conscious decisions and just taking your health more seriously, because I don't care if it's extra effort, you want to live longer. So you have to kind of map it out, incorporate it, and then you'll start to see the benefits.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Definitely just try to plan for it. Plans when you go to the grocery store, pick those healthy options. But it's possible for sure. I'm just going to read a couple of other suggestions. So one says to know your numbers. Are you aware of your blood pressure, cholesterol, and blood glucose levels, blood glucose levels? What about your heart rate, body mass index, and weight? It's hard to change what you don't know. So that's important. I mean, I recently got a physical at my doctor and I asked her, I was just like, as I'm getting older and things are happening in my body, how often do I need to come to the doctor and get kind of a workup done? And she said once a year. I didn't ask her for, how often you should be getting a heart workup done. I know the article definitely suggest that. But yeah, I think obviously, again, eating healthy, reducing your salt intake, and then talk to your doctor, know your numbers. I have to be honest, I don't know my blood pressure. They'll say it real quick, you know what I mean, when you go to the doctor, but do I know it, or my cholesterol levels? I don't know those numbers. I can't even really say. So I think it would be great if we had maybe a doctor to join us one of these episodes to kind of give us real numbers. But I think it does say it's important to kind of know. So if you can know if you're in the healthy range or not.
Yeah, and you're not alone, and I'm sure listeners probably feel the same way, because every time they take your blood pressure, they'll tell you. There's times where I'm like, okay, and then there's times where I'm like, is that good? Is that okay? Am I good?
Right.
And then very, very seldom will the person say, "This is your blood pressure. It's good." No, a lot of times they just read the number. They don't say, "Oh, this is good" or not. I'm sure if it's terrible, they'll let you know. Your doctor will let you know, but they never really say, "Okay, you're in a good range. Normal range is this." You know what I mean? So that would be helpful. But ask the questions. Okay, that's my blood pressure. Is that normal? What should the normal range be? So yeah. I agree. I mean, I have no idea. When they
so I just looked it up. It does say that the normal blood pressure level is less than 120 over 80. So I feel like I remember those numbers. It should be 120 over 80. But what's the top number? What's the bottom number? I've heard it before. I just can't remember that. So after this podcast, I'm for sure going to go look that up just to have an idea. And again, when you go to the doctor and they tell you those numbers, ask them, is that good? Because you're right. They don't really say it. The nurses just tell you like, already.
Yeah. And then you also don't even have to wait till you go to the doctor, because, when my mom first got diagnosed with diabetes, like she got the machine at home. So you can just check it yourself. It's not hard.
That's true.
Clear, easy instructions just to especially if you feel like something may be going on, it might be good to invest, go on Amazon or something, get it. And then, just check your blood pressure regularly.
Yeah, I think that they even have those blood pressure checks in the grocery store. I still see one, at least where I live in Martins. So just real quick, a normal blood pressure, again, less than 120. Elevated, it says 120 to 129. And high blood pressure is 130 to 139. So, do your research. But I like that idea, like you suggested, maybe you need to get that blood pressure cuff. I don't think they're very expensive. I think you can get that at a grocery store, Walmart, Amazon, but maybe have that around so that that your levels are good. So that's very, very important.
But I think today's episode is really just to highlight the importance based on the, current situation with Floyd Mayweather's assistant. It's just a reminder to check on your heart health and just to stay conscious of your health overall. So just Definitely. Really to bring light to Black women and our heart health and just provide some tips or, steps on how to check your heart health and then how to, keep things on track, keep your heart healthy.
Right. Absolutely. I agree. It's like I said, when I heard the news, I don't know this person, but obviously whenever you hear some sad news like that, someone passing away, they're not feeling well and it's not confirmed. So we definitely want to say this is alleged information. It's not, I don't believe it's confirmed yet, but there were some reports and stories out there that, Mayweather's personal assistant, that she passed away of a heart attack. And so it just made Nicole and I start to think, let's give a few reminders to really think about your heart health and having this understanding, again, with like those statistics that, cardiovascular disease kills so many Black women annually. And stroke is the leading cause. I thought heart attack was the leading cause of death, but stroke is a leading cause of death among Black women. So just right off the bat, if there's anything you could take away from today's episode, try to reduce your salt intake, guys. I mean, for African Americans, it appears that we have this genetic component that makes us sensitive to salt. And so if you have that gene and you're adding more salt to your foods and stuff, it really can increase your blood pressure. The blood pressure, stress, not eating healthy, all of those things can lead to stroke, can lead to heart disease, could lead to heart attack. I don't know if that's what happened to Floyd Mayweather's personal assistant. I don't know that. I just know that she did pass away, and that's what they're claiming, that could be a heart attack. So we just really want to stress for the women in our community to be proactive in terms of your heart health. Try to get exercise, eat healthy, reduce your salt intake, guys.
Yep. And for the exercise, if you feel a little unmotivated and you want to, a little bit of motivation, we have our culturally inspired activewear, not to plug the clothes, but that's one of the reasons we do it, is because we know it's tough to get out there and actually start your fitness journey, start moving your body. So we create comfortable and cute workout clothes that have that cultural aspect to really just inspire you to, put it on and you feel like I'm ready. I can do this. So if you need a little bit, new workout gear just to kind of get you motivated, get your mind right, to start that aspect of getting your heart healthier, definitely check out our clothing.
Yes. And also real quick, on top of that, because again, clothing is important because, it is a motivator. When you look good, you feel good, right? And also for all of our local listeners, if you're in the DMV area, Glamourina, we host once a month something called the Glamourina Sister Circle. And it's a health and wellness or health wellness related some type of exercise or, workout. It's a way for us to meet you guys in person and also be able to provide the ladies in our community, something that's health related. So we've had a guided meditation. We've had a Motown inspired dance aerobics. And so we'll definitely have another Glamourina Sister Circle in May. And hopefully throughout the summer. So definitely check that out. You can find more information on our social media pages. So that just gives you guys the opportunity. Again, this is for anyone in the DMV to come out and work out with us and, definitely get your heart pumping.
Yeah. And if for some reason you're not on social media, you can go to our website, subscribe, glamourina.com. And we send out email blasts to local listeners who are in the DMV area to join us. So if you're not on social media, email, website, But that's just another option. We try to get in the community, help with the fitness aspect, help to keep you moving. But thank you guys so much for tuning into today's episode of Behind Glamourina, Moms on a Mission. We have a passion for building sisterhood through wellness and creating a safe space where all women feel like they belong.
Definitely. Be sure to visit glamourina.com to shop culturally inspired activewear that reminds you that you are enough. Stay well. And until next episode, bye, tribe.